Alright, anyways, the rest of my notes. Let me see. So I was thinking about, okay, these people can't feed themselves because they can't do something that's pleasing to others. So is this how we judge people? Who lives and who dies? If you can't do something to please somebody else, you don't get to eat. Even though you could do it yourself to please yourself and take care of yourself and your tribe, your family. Um, no, that's gonna change. So, okay, and what else was I talking about? I was talking about how, all right, so we're over there feeding these kids. We got the African commercials, feed the children, feed the children. How long has that commercial been on TV? We've been feeding these African children and these so-called starving African children for years. They have land right there, and they need to be using it to get. I think better when I don't think out loud. I'll think it out loud, and then I'll just, let me see. Okay, so I went back to the Atlas Shrugged thing, the Atlas Shrugged statement that I said, and I said, I'll read it again. So why did Atlas shrug? Because they didn't know what the hell they were talking about. Because if we never specialize in before I forget, let me just say, okay, if we never specialize in dependent on others to do the so-called low-level labor jobs, we never would have had a chance to industrialize, build the internet, and make robots. Intelligence doesn't put food in mouths, work does. So basically, if nobody is working farms, putting food in the market, you're gonna have to do it yourself. If nobody's doing a lot of other these so-called simple resource gathering labor jobs, you would have to do it yourself. If you want to build something, you're gonna have to go cut your own tree down if there's not wood in the market. Blah blah blah. So does that make you dependent on these people? Yeah. If they're not doing their job, you're gonna have to do it. So basically, by them doing that, by us specializing, by them doing that and sticking to that, and you're not having to go do that and then do that everything yourself, you all those smart people were able to concentrate just on whatever it was that they were doing. Let's say, I don't know if the government paid them just to use your brain. They said, we're gonna buy all the food from these people. We're gonna pay you. We're gonna give you a salary. You just use your brain and come up with some smart shit that would make the world better. Blah 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 blah. So basically, Atlas Shrugged was about, from what I heard. I never read the book. So, anyways, from what I heard, it's about people who thought that they was holding the world on their shoulders. They thought that without them holding up the world would fall down and be nothing. And these people were the intellectuals of the world, and quote unquote intellectuals of the world, that use their brains and intelligence to do things that advance society, advance technology, I should say. And I guess they got tired of people. I don't know exactly how the book goes, but from what I heard, they got tired of people. I don't know if it was just because they were asking for their money or asking for their wealth, or they got tired of people just because they got tired of people that were under them. Whatever the case was, they supposedly went to. This is a fiction book. They supposedly went to another island and they started up their own civilization. I guess they had robots do all the work for them, and they left everybody else by themselves, and supposedly everybody else couldn't, was walking around with their like a chicken with their head cut off and didn't know what to do without these intelligent people to tell us what to do. Now, I don't know if these people are supposed to be aliens from another planet that come into our minds and give us hidden wisdom. Now, anyways, that wasn't about Atlas Shrugged. Atlas Shrugged was supposed to be about intelligent people that invented all the technology, and then they went off to the island, and they lived like perfect people because of all the technology that they had. They let the technology handle all the small work, and they just lived like kings, and everybody else lived like savages, hunting and gathering and shit like that. My thing is, I don't care how smart you was. I don't care if you had the knowledge on how to build everything in the world. All right. If you had the knowledge on how to do everything in the world, if all those people from Atlas Shrugged had all the knowledge how to do everything in the world themselves, if they didn't have somebody to feed them, they wouldn't be using none of that knowledge for nothing but let's make sure we get our food first. Oh, now I want to make a TV. How long would it take for you to make a TV? Let me see. You'd have to do your own mining. Mine every single material that it takes. Then you have to refine all those materials. So you'd have to build your own industrial factory to refine or industrial operation, whatever. However they did it back in the olden days, because they did it. They didn't need a whole big factory, but anyways, you would have to refine all your metals. You would have to, if you wanted plastic, that's more high tech. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't doing plastic back in the days. So maybe there's a lower way to do plastic where you don't need all the big machinery, but that's crazy. And then on top of that, you would have to go find all these materials too before you even. You wouldn't be able to do it in one lifespan. Is the point I'm trying to say. You would have to find all these materials yourself, refine them, bomb. Then you would have to make all the base products just to make the big products. First you got to make tools before you can make something as big. You can't make perfect looking furniture without, good tools. So first you got to make the tools. Then you got to make tools to make bigger tools. Then you can make something. Then you can start making products and shit. You wouldn't be able to do that shit in one lifespan. So basically, what I'm telling Atlas Shrugged is, you would never have the means, and you would never have the capability, you would never have the chance to industrialize, build robots, and none of this stuff if other people weren't doing that other work. And I thought of a rebuttal that a Republican or somebody that like Atlas Shrugged might say. They might say something like, okay, well, people traded willingly. You did your work, and you did what you was good at, and you traded with me because you wanted to. That's not the point I'm trying to make. That's true. And that's not the point I'm trying to make. I'm saying if somebody wasn't doing that, because you're looking down on these people like they're nothing. If they wasn't doing that, you would be doing it. So don't look down on these people like they're nothing, is what I'm saying. And another thing, one good point that they may have is a question, and probably up for debate. I don't know if I got a definitive answer on this one. Is now if Atlas Shrugged left people in this society because all the intelligent people just picked up and left this society because everybody else was trying to take their money. It sounds like some Republican propaganda, but everybody else is trying to take their money, and like how we do with government, we tax the rich, and we tax the rich more to pay for people with lesser things. I had a rebuttal for that too. Because, okay, let's say Donald Trump, all these CEOs, these top-notch CEOs that use their brains to make companies make more money. Um, all these scientists and all these people that invent new medical life-saving techniques and or machineries and stuff like that. All these technical people. If all these technical people, what was I saying? Fucking devil. All these technical people, funky piece of shit. Anyways, what was I saying? If all these technical people, the people that created all the life saving, blah, 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 they're saying that whatever they're creating is worth more than what you're doing. All right. So you're saying that you created an MRI machine and it's blah, 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 or you created a defibrillator, all the stuff that saves lives and make people's lives better. You create the TVs that everybody watches, and you do all this other stuff. So now, because I'm getting all this extra money, you shouldn't ask me for it because I'm getting paid for what I'm worth. My product that I create is worth a lot. Now, why is it really worth a lot? Now, think about it. A high-tech X-ray machine, right? Why is that worth more than why is that worth more than anything else? Basically because value, so-called value. People say it's worth more. All it is a bunch of plastic. Well, I mean, we got toys that are a bunch of plastic. Then they have some raw materials in there that may be rare. So why are those raw materials costing more? I mean, you dig it out the same ground that you dig the most abundant material out. It's just the value. Okay, this is raw, so I'm gonna raise the price of it. I mean, this is rare, so I'm gonna so I'm gonna raise the price of it. There's not a lot of this, so I'm gonna raise the price of it. So there may be some rare materials in there that are just hyped up because they're rare. It's not that it took extra manpower to get this. I mean, you take a rock out the ground. This funky devil running around my house. Funky mouse, I'm gonna catch you. But anyways, you take a rock out the ground. It takes more effort to take a rock out the ground out of stone quarry than it does to dig up some ores.